Thank you so much for joining me for this relaxing wind down flow. It's all going to be centered around lying prone, so lying on your front. So we're going to go ahead and get started in child's pose. So finding your way down into the most comfortable variation of child's pose. So you can always take the knees wide and the big toes together, sinking the chest down in between the legs. Or maybe you prefer to feel a little bit more supported, and taking the knees together just gives you something to sink down onto. But we're looking for a place where you can allow the forehead to be really heavy and the hands and the feet to relax. And the longer you sink into the pose, you're going to find that eventually the hips relax down towards the heels. And you can take the focus into all the muscles through the back, lifting and expanding. And as you exhale, allowing everything to soften. From here, we're going to take a deep inhale, reaching the hands all the way to the very top of the mat. And if you keep the chest low, we're going to take a deep breath, drawing the chest forwards, lifting up through the arms, finding your way into our upward facing dog, or a variation of it, right? So sometimes this can feel really intense, and coming down onto the forearms just feels a little bit more relaxing. But we're going to focus here on relaxing the glutes. So sometimes you find they're really squeezed tight, and that usually helps protect the lower back. So checking in if it feels a little more comfortable to keep them engaged. But if you can, just allowing them to relax. And as you take a deep inhale, allowing the tummy to fill and expand, supported here by the floor. If you would like to intensify things a little bit, we're going to take the hands forwards and out. And if you extend the arms long, lifting up into seal pose. And again, checking in on the glutes. So as soon as you find that compression through the lower spine, there's a tendency for the glutes to switch on to help alleviate that. But if you can, allowing them to relax, taking a deep inhale, allowing the belly to fill and expand. And as you exhale, just allowing the neck and the shoulders to relax. If you take one last deep breath here, then as you exhale, we're going to slowly lower the face down towards the floor. And if you turn so that the left side of the face is landed, we're going to take a deep breath, lifting the right foot. And as you exhale, just taking that over to the outside edge of the left leg. You're going to feel a deep stretch all across the front of the left shoulder. So it's the leg that moves, but you're going to feel that big release all through the front of the left shoulder and sometimes the front of the right hip, right? And you get to play around with where that foot lands. So sometimes it just kind of hovers. Maybe the toes come all the way down to the floor. But allowing the left leg, the one that's still lying down, to relax, and the feet. Taking one last deep breath here. Exhaling, drawing that leg all the way back over to where it started. And if you take a little rock from side to side, just allowing the hips to relax. We're going to take that all over to the other side. So breathing in, lifting the left leg all the way up and over. And we're just resting the right side of the face down. You're going to find that big release all through the front of the right shoulder. If you can, just allowing that right leg to relax as much as possible, the one that's laying down. Noticing where the toes come to on that left foot. Sometimes it's a little different from one side to the other, right? That's fine. drawing a deep breath in through the nose, releasing, full exhale. And then with the next exhale, taking that left foot back alongside. Here we go. From here, we're going to bend the left leg at the knee, reaching back with the left hand. And as you exhale, drawing that left foot all the way in towards the glutes. Taking a little moment here to check in with all the muscles through the front of the left leg. Breathing in deeply and exhaling fully. I'm going to take one more deep breath here. And then releasing that leg, taking the hand back to the top of the mat. We're going to see about drawing the left leg around about in line with the left hip. And sometimes it takes a few moments to find that comfortable spot, right? But allowing everything to slowly come to a place where it all feels comfortable. Somewhere that you could stay for just a few more moments. With every inhale, just allowing the belly to fill and expand, completely supported by the mat. And then with every exhale, just allowing all the muscles down the inside of the left leg to soften down towards the floor. And you get to stay right here if this is the place that feels the most relaxing. Or lifting the head just enough that we can take the right hand under the left arm, resting the right hand on top of that left leg. We're going to take a deep inhale, sweeping the left arm all the way up and over, finding that big twist at the waist. And sometimes it can feel really intense through the shoulder, so you get to draw that left hand back in towards the shoulder if that's the thing that makes it all feel a little bit more possible. But taking a deep breath in through the nose, and as you exhale, just allowing that big twist at the waist to deepen. Allowing the head and the shoulders to rest back, the hands and feet to relax. If you take one more really deep inhale here, and as you exhale, we're going to draw that left hand all the way back up and over, extending the left leg long. And from here, we're going to take the hands under the shoulders, pressing the hips all the way back to child's pose, taking all the little wriggles and shuffles here that allow the lower back to relax, reaching the arms forwards, breathing in, sinking the chest, lifting as you reach the arms, exhaling, taking the hips back towards the heels. We're going to take 2 more rounds. Breathing in, drawing the chest forwards, lifting through the arms, exhaling, sinking the hips back towards the heels. If you keep the knees together, it usually helps find a little bit of extra length through the lower spine. And then final round, breathing in, drawing the chest forwards, lifting up through the arms. This time, as you exhale, we're going to take the chest back down towards the floor, and we're going to take everything over to the other side. So if you rest the left side of the face down, as you exhale here, we're going to draw the right foot in towards the glutes. And if you reach back with the right hand, taking hold of the foot, and every exhale drawing that right foot in towards the glutes. And just finding all those extra little wriggles and shuffles that allow everything to relax. And the more you relax, just noticing if that means you can draw that foot a little bit closer. Breathing in deeply and exhaling fully. And then when you're ready, releasing the right foot entirely and taking the right knee around about in line with the right hip. So again, just taking all those little wriggles that allow you to find a place so you could stay for a few moments, the most comfortable variation of the pose. And as you inhale, just finding that big release through the lower spine and through the core. And as you exhale, allowing all the muscles down the inside of the right leg to soften and sink down towards the mat. And you get to stay right here. If this is the place that feels the most comfortable, that's what we're going to do. Or lifting the head just enough that you can take the left hand under the right, resting the left hand on top of the right knee. And with a big inhale, drawing the right hand all the way up and over. And we're looking for that big twist at the waist. Allowing all the muscles through the legs to relax as much as they can. And again, noticing any little differences from one side to the other. There's usually a few. Sometimes closing the eyes is that thing that just allows you to relax. And other times just focusing in on the breath. If you take one last really deep breath here, then as you exhale, drawing that right hand all the way back up and over, unthreading the left, taking the right foot alongside the left. And from here, we're going to press up into our tabletop. So we've got the hands under the shoulders and the knees under the hips. Breathing in, lifting the chest and the tailbone. Exhaling, tucking the chin and the tailbone under. Inhaling, rolling the shoulders back. And with the exhale, lifting the spine. And from here, we're going to sink the hips all the way back down towards the heels, taking a few moments here to rest.